and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
You want me to do that, Cindy, or you're? Okay. No, she has resigned, so we don't need to have her on the rolls anymore, but just for posterity's sake, we'll do Commissioner Autry.
Here.
Commissioner O'Brien.
Here.
Commissioner Oland.
Here.
And Commissioner Devlin is excused absence.
Special presentations and or announcements, non-public comments. Public participation is welcomed and invited at all planning commission meetings regarding issues or matters not on the agenda, but still within the jurisdiction of the planning commission of Wairega. If your statements concern an item noted on the agenda, please address the planning commission when that item is open for public comment. The city requests that the persons addressing the planning commission refrain from making personal, slanderous, profane, or disruptive remarks. Planning commissioners, when recognized by the chair, may ask clarifying questions of presenter, but no action may be taken by the planning commission during the public comment section of the meeting. Under the Brown Act, the planning commission is prohibited from discussing or taking any action on any item not listed on the posted agenda. This time is set aside for residents to address the planning commission on matters listed on the consent agenda, as well as other items not included on the agenda. If your comments concern an item listed under the public hearing, old or new business sections of the agenda, please address the commission when that item is open for public comment. Please speak into the microphone from the podium. The podium electronically adjusts up and down to accommodate the speaker. Please state your name for the record prior to providing your comments. Please address the commissioners as a whole. If you have documents to present, please provide a minimum of 7 copies. These become a public record. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Since the planning commission is unable to take action on issues not on the agenda, your matter may be referred to staff for follow-up or placed on a future agenda. Public comments period is not intended to be a question and answer period or conversations with the planning commissioners or city staff. Consent agenda.
Did either of you have any general public comments on items not on the agenda? Okay, go for it.
Consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and non-controversial and will be enacted by one motion unless any member of the planning commission wishes to remove an item for discussion. So item A is approval of the minutes of the regular meeting held June 24th, 2024. And the recommended planning commission action is motion to adopt the consent agenda of the planning commission of the city of Wairega as presented.
So moved.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
And we'll have a vote on that.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And Commissioner O'Brien votes yes as well. Public hearing. A 2023-12 Anderson tentative parcel map public hearing. The Planning Commission will consider the following tentative parcel map application filed by Lisa Anderson. The proposed target tentative parcel map would subdivide 1.61 acre parcel into 3 separate parcels and dedication of a public city street, 1.40 acre parcel and 0.38 acre parcel and 0.57 acre parcel. Lane Street currently exists on the northern section of the parcel and will be separated and dedicated to the city as part of this tentative parcel map.
I can take over from here, Peter.
All right.
Great. All right, thank you very much. And thank you, Dan Wallace, the surveyor of record, and the project applicant, Lisa Anderson, is here today if you have any specific questions for them on the application. But this is a very straightforward tentative parcel map. So we do have one large parcel on Lane Street that is currently undeveloped. It's in the process of being developed into a single family residence, which is a use by right. So that is not on the table for discussion tonight. It's merely the subdivision and dedication piece. And so what occurred with this project is we realized as we were processing it that Lane Street, that portion of it, was not properly dedicated at the time of the subdivision creation. Obviously, Lane Street does exist as a city street, and so that was installed, and we have been maintaining that. And so this would clean up the record of that parcel. And so the parcel itself is fairly large for the size in that neighborhood. And so the proposal is to subdivide it into those 3 parcels, one a 0.4 acre, one a 0.38 acre, and finally a 0.57 acre parcel, which is very similar to the size of the parcels that are existing within that subdivision. It also meets our standards that are represented in the general plan's low density residential land use designation, as well as meeting the standards of lot design for the R1 low density residential zoning. The specifics of that is found in your packet on page 8 of the packet itself. And so we went through and reviewed it. So under the city's regulations for subdivisions, tentative parcel maps, which is chapter 15.20 of the municipal code, the only finding we really need to make is that it's compliant with our zoning code and general plan, which staff has found that it is, and we can make that finding today. The environmental review of this is 2 different class categoricals for this, which is a 3 and 15 exemption from the California Environmental Quality Act, which is minor subdivision and small scale facilities. So single family residences are exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act because they're deemed small scale in comparison to larger projects that could impact the environment. We did, per government code section 66453 and 66455.9, we sent out a 15-day notice to our responsible agencies, which is the tax collector, assessor, Department of Fish and Wildlife, CAL FIRE, among others. For comments, we did receive 2 comments. One was from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, which actually requested that we remove some of their standard conditions from the conditions of approval because this parcel does not have any specific habitat for sensitive species and does not have the potential for sensitive habitat. So they were not concerned with the project at all. And then Caltrans was the other responding agency, which their response was no response, which is always a good one for us. So happy to have that with them. So we did make the recommended changes to the conditions of approval that we typically have to reduce them. They did request that we do keep a couple of standard state regulations that are in there just to inform the project itself, but would not require any additional work at this time. So staff's recommendation is for the planning commission to approve this for city council consideration. And so this would be presented at the next available city council meeting if you approve the resolution that's attached today. And then the land dedication would also occur at that meeting. And so Mr. Wallace and I have been working on that. That has been reviewed by our city engineer, and we'll move forward with the project. Finally, we did also send out public notices to all properties within 300 feet. We did receive one email a couple of days ago after this packet was released, which you have a copy of. I actually did respond to the individual who had sent that, clarifying that the project would not change Lane Street's orientation. She did respond, thank you, and that her comment doesn't really apply anymore. And so she has no concerns with the project. It was just a misunderstanding that she thought the map was showing a change in Lane Street orientation, which there is no change to Lane Street as part of this project. The project applicant will be required to construct curb gutter sidewalk on the proposed parcel 3, which is within our municipal code as well as the California Vehicle Code standards. And that will not impact any of the width of that current street. So do you have any questions before opening the public hearing?
Well, the objection, I take it this is the letter before me,
Correct.
Linda and Judy Sullivan.
Yes, yes. And I did respond to Linda specifically was the one who responded to me, and I just let her know I covered all of her points, which she was concerned about noise impact on roadway construction, evacuation routes with roadway construction. And so they were very easy to deal with because I let her know that there will be no roadway closures or roadway construction.
So we're quite happy with the project
Yes,
as proposed.
yes, yes.
I have some clarifying questions.
Sure.
Because of how it looks on the map.
Mhm.
Are they widening the street?
No, there is no construction proposed for the street. It is just dedicating that street to the city. And so what happened is when they did the subdivision map, either side of Lane Street with the other currently developed houses is city-owned dedication and right-of-way. This one portion, for some reason, just did not get properly dedicated. And so it's just clarifying that map. So there is no physical change in the street. There's no proposed change in the street.
And a house is being constructed on parcel 3, I take it.
Yes, and there is a preliminary proposed resident location. It is slightly changed, but that location does meet the zoning code and is not part of the tentative parcel map findings. So they meet all standard setbacks. They're actually in the building process and have been approved and have a building permit issued for the single family residence.
Oh.
Yep.
Do you have any questions on it?
No.
Did you have any other questions?
No.
So then my recommendation to the chair would be to open the public hearing.
Right. Anybody have anything to say? Yes.
Hi, I'm Dan Wallace. I'm the land surveyor. I drew the map. And I don't have anything, I don't think, to add to Juliana's presentation. But just to clarify a little bit, I understand that the sidewalk construction is not part of the tentative parcel map itself.
Correct.
It's more tied to the building permit.
Correct.
But I'm wanting to clarify a little bit because I believe that in constructing the sidewalk along the new dedicated right-of-way line, there is a small area where paving will need to be added to the existing street. Now, I'm guessing that there wouldn't be any traffic obstruction,
Correct.
but that is some construction which will be on the side of the roadway.
But that would not be considered part of the project description in front of the planning commission. It
True.
would be part of the building
It's a
permit.
separate matter.
Correct.
Technically.
Yes.
And so when someone is building a sidewalk, is there some written guidance on the construction, the technical parts of that construction when someone is building a sidewalk as part of a building permit? Or is that reviewed on a case-by-case basis by the city engineer?
It is reviewed on a case-by-case basis because we do happen to have some non-compliant street widths. And so because we are an older city, we do take them on
Yeah.
case by case.
Okay. So I sent Matt Bray an
Yes.
email on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're aware.
I
of
checked
that.
in with him today as well as our city engineer too.
Yeah, so we're just wanting to kind of expedite that sidewalk
Correct.
construction for various reasons. Lisa,
Yes.
did you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. I appreciate you coming down. here.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Commissioners. I'm Lisa Anderson. I'm the property owner, and I'm here today because, well, I want to be part of the process because I am excited to be moving up here, at least on a part-time basis until he graduates. I'm in the process of building. My home is going to probably be delivered next week. It's a 688 square foot, 1 bedroom, 1 bath little cottage. It's just me and him. And the reason why I wanted to come here is if anybody, and this is going to be part of the record, right? So if anybody has questions forward, they can refer to this. If anybody has questions, my intent, I'm not, if I was a property owner, I might be concerned that somebody's coming up and they're subdividing land and they're going to sell it or develop it. That's not my intent. I love the land. I love the deer. I'm an introvert. I want to be up there with my son. I love the land. The reason why I'm subdividing is, number one, we had to get that Lane Street off of my parcel map and rededicate it to the city. And since it was up to me, I was told it was, I got Dan Wallace out there to survey it and it was on I had to pay for it. So I figured, okay, well, let's redraw the lines because the lines on my parcels, it's not 1.61 acre parcel. It's actually 2 parcels that are considered, I guess, 1 parcel. It's confusing to me.
It's what we would call a paper parcel.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the line on those 2 parcels is north-south. It makes no sense. So I was going to redraw that line to make it east-west. And since I had Dan working on it anyway, I thought, why not? Let's make the 3rd parcel. My reasoning for this is because my son is disabled and someday I'm going to die. And I want my older son to have a resource for him that he can sell off 1 or 2 parcels at that time to make some money, but keep the home if he wants to. I have absolutely zero interest in developing those parcels. Like I said, I love the open land. I have a small footprint. And I'm just excited to be up here in Wairika, and it's going to be part-time for a while, well, going back and forth to my home in Woodland. But if there's any questions, please ask me because I want to be a good neighbor to everybody here. And I think that's it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sound just the sort of person we needed.
Yeah.
So if there are no further a motion to approve the Planning Commission Resolution 2023-02, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Wairika recommending approval for tentative parcel map number 2023-12 for the subdivision of 1.61 acre parcel into 3 parcels with condition and adoption of a Class A 15 categorical exemption from the California Environmental Code. I propose, I always get mixed up at this point.
If you would like to make that motion, you can just indicate that you'd like to make that
I'd
motion.
like to make.
Okay.
I second.
Don Marie?
Yeah, the second, are we voting?
Yes.
Yes.
And-
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, if you had any other additional questions, you can ask them before
No.
you vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
It's pretty
Is that what
straightforward.
we have? You do.
Yeah, no, I don't have any.
She's a
questions.
yes.
I'm saying yes, I
Yes.
approve for recommendation.
Well, Don Marie voted yes,
I vote yes.
and I vote yes.
All right.
So the measure passes.
Correct.
Real quick, who was the second on that?
It was Commissioner Oland.
Okay, thank you.
And just to let you guys know, so the next available city council meeting will be November 19th. And so we'll get everything ready to go and the land dedication, Dan. And so I will follow up with you in the morning with an email on that and we'll just take you through the process. So that'll be the last one that you need. And then we're all good to go for the building stuff and everything like that. Yeah.
Next week, but
Yeah.
not that it'll be living there, but I think the sidewalk, I don't think I can get, the contractor says he can't get somebody there to even look at it until probably early November anyway.
And that's okay. Yeah, we'll work with you guys on that. It's starting to become winter. So if we have to push it to spring, that's okay. Yeah, we do that all the time. Yeah.
Would I be able to?
Yep.
live in a home? Oh,
Yep. Yep. Yeah, no, you'll be okay.
I was concerned about having homes.
Yes.
That they're all winter unoccupied.
No, 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 you'll be okay. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's the part
yeah. We understand that concrete, it may need to wait till spring. That
My
happens.
main concern.
Yeah, no, you're okay. All right. All right. And then if you'd like to adjourn, we have no other items tonight.
I've never done this.
All right. All right, thank you guys.